Between the Scilly Islands and Land's End is a 20-mile gap. At about 6:30 a.m. the Scilly Islands came into view, but on the left side, not the right. The captain decided to continue on course, probably because the safe route around the Scilly Islands would add 2 hours to his journey. The captain planned to travel between the Scilly Islands and Seven Stones Reef. This was 7 miles wide. After an emergency change of course and an autopilot fail, which was stuck in disengage due to poor design structure, it hit Pollard's Rock in Seven Stones Reef and ripped open 7 tankers, spilling 119,328 tons of oil. The massive oil slick killed most of the marine wildlife that it came into contact with. Many attempts were made to clean up and even to float the ship off the reef, using airbags and the tides. Within 12 hours of the spill, the Navy used toxic chemicals detergents to try and tackle the situation. 500,000 gallons of chemicals were applied during only 17 days. This had a limited success. The Torrey Canyon was now beyond salvage. No plans existed for such an event to happen. It was bombed on the 28th, 29th and 30th of March, using 42 bombs. Oil in the water was set alight, but this wasn't prolonged, so oil still escaped from the wrecked ship. Napalm and petrol were used for this. The ship gradually submerged.
On man-made wings, 8 Navy Buccaneer jets were loaded, each with 5 1,000-pound bombs. For the pilots, it would be not target practice, but bombing for defense, to save part of the country from a new menace. The awesome smoke pall from the bombed tanker 16 miles away, rising thousands of feet, almost resembling an atomic mushroom. How to prevent similar tragedies, nations will have to learn.
ITOPF was first established in 1968 after the Torrey Canyon incident to ensure adequate payment of compensation to those affected by oil spills. ITOPF's team of technical staff are constantly ready to respond to oil spills anywhere in the world. They advise all parties on the effect of pollutants, assist in the cleanup, monitor the cleanup, and provide reports and to investigate any damage to coastal resources. They provide advice on technical merit of claims to people who will pay the compensation. This includes cleanup costs and oil pollution damage. ITOPF are frequently asked by governments and industry to assist in the preparation of contingency plans. They also organise training courses and seminars for government and industry personnel. They also test contingency plans and response arrangements before such an event would happen. The MCA are involved in search and rescue and ensuring ships are of UK safety standards. They monitor and prevent coastal pollution. The organisation is led by Sir Alan Massey since July 2010.
The Maritime and Coast Guard Agency use aircraft to detect and deal with pollution at sea. Oil spills and pollutants pose a constant threat to marine life and the United Kingdom's coastline. The environmental threat is high on the media agenda.
Throughout the day, and that will continue through the week. So we're marking any pollution in the water.
To counter this, the MCA use a fleet of aircraft available at short notice to detect oil spills and to spray dispersant.
This act encourages harbour masters to navigate vessels carrying dangerous goods and to stop them venturing too close to our shores and coastlines. It also says that they should require the removal of ships if they are likely to cause danger to the safety of any person or property, or if it is an obstruction to navigation of further ships. SOSREP was a new post that came about in 1999. He is asked to remove risk to safety in the UK environment arising from accidents involving ships. They work closely with the MCA at the earliest point possible. SOSREP's duties are in respect to salvage only. The threat of marine pollution became clear following the Torrey Canyon disaster. The Marine Management Organization makes a significant contribution to sustainable development. They implement new marine planning systems, implement a new licensing scheme, manage UK fishery quotas, work to manage marine protected areas, and respond to marine emergencies. This is the UK's leading charity for protecting our seas, beaches and wildlife since 1983. They want our seas to be full of wildlife and for our beaches and seas to be free of any pollutants. Their aim is to clean seas and reduce overfishing. They depend entirely on generosity to continue their work and are supported by some public figures. This cleanup system for oil and chemicals is designed for response, recovery and cleanup. The strong vacuum and tolerance for solids makes it possible to pump debris-laden viscous oil. Obviously a machine such as this didn't exist back in 1967, so you can imagine how much better equipped we are now at dealing with cleanup today. If the oil slick doesn't pose a threat, cleanup agencies might use natural processes. The sun, wave action and weather all contribute to the breakdown of oil in water. In fresh water, crude oil might sink, but will always float in salt water. Dispersants are chemicals that break down oil much more quickly. They break the oil slick apart so that they mix with the water. These are obviously dangerous, as proved by the Torrey Canyon disaster. Biological agents are fertilizers like phosphorus and nitrogen, and they are spread over the shoreline. These make microorganisms grow, which will hopefully break down the oil into CO2 and fatty acids. Other biological agents are used offshore. The Torrey Canyon disaster involved offshore salvage. The vessel was subject to changing tides and weather conditions. It would have also been difficult to get the little resources they had on location. There is also less of a window for salvage to take place, hence the need to work quickly.